is Proclamation News and Gatherence. It is Thursday, the 6th of May. It is the day of the election. Have you put your election in today? Polling stations are open now. Make sure you get down and make your vote. Polling stations are open. It's important that you make a vote, isn't it? Very, very important that you make your vote today. Do you care about your children? Do you care about your cousins? Do you care about your nieces, your nephews' future? You might need, medical treatment for your children, shaping up the infrastructure. So who's it best to be voting for? I voted Conservative. I voted Conservative. Traditional values. I go with my grandfather's remembrance, fighting under Winston Churchill. Everything I remember for the World War II, what they sacrificed for us in the World War II, for us to still be here alive today. I voted Conservative. I don't know what your party politics is, but everyone's allowed their own opinion. Anyway, thank you all for coming through. Anyway, it's an amazing show. I've got so much to talk through today with criminology, UK politics, no business like show business. We've been talking about, I had my friend Aidan on yesterday. He was very, very good. I mean, he's quite a wise man. I've been part of, he's done a lot of welding over the years. Obviously, us, the working class people, we sit and obviously read our newspaper. Any man that's a working man on a build site that likes to read a newspaper is a methodical reader, buys a newspaper every day, reads what's going on in the tabloid, in the journal, in the broadsheet newspaper, reads all the journalism, seeing what's going on, seeing where the struggles lie, seeing what's going on with victims inside the UK as well, such as knife crime, sporadic knife crime. Been a couple of shootings, very, very, very rare that you see shootings in the UK, but it does happen. There's quite a lot of lunatic asylums amongst the dominion of the UK. Proclamation News and Gatherence is growing. People are actually coming in from all over. They're coming in from all over. I'm live on YouTube, I'm live on Facebook, and I'm live on Twitter. I'm live on live TV. And I'm live on Castbox. When I said I wanted to be absolute populism, this is it. This is it. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for being preserved and both observed. You make yourself part of the aristocracy social elite because you are etiquette in style and you're pragmatic in stance. Being observant within what's going on in journalism is important so you don't miss what's going on in today's current climate. Here you can get avid weather warnings, global warming, industrialisation, pollution, fly tipping, people pouring petroleum over the ground, spillages, everything that can cause damage within our ozone layer. Use of our national resources. A lot of things can cause damage to ozone layer. Taking up trees, using too much paper. It's going to become. I'm an artist, so I use a lot of canvases. But there's going to be a time I think to myself, I need to give it a break now. I'll give it a rest. When I get to X amount of art pieces, which I haven't used a lot of paper over the years of studying, I've done most of my stuff by a computer, which is then not put onto paper literate stuff. Like my university, it's all online. It's online university. So I didn't go into uni to get books and use too much paper. I'm using it online. Online course is much more significant thinking about the current climate. We need to get educated in any field that we choose to do, don't we? Mine's history and politics. I was always loved history at high school. I was very, very good at history at high school, and I'm still pretty good now, I'd like to say. I could talk to you about history now if you want, but we're going to move on in today's modern society because that's what the listeners are not paying for. That's what listeners are here to observe and be preserved in. So here we go. So I'll give a shout out to my sponsor before we move on. We're going to talk about debt management, money management. So we are sponsored by Relax UK Limited. You can Google this, Relax UK Limited. It's a UK relaxation shop. It sells various ranges of products from relaxation, travel, well-being, biofeedback, sleeping, and natural products. You want a healthy lifestyle, healthy, lavish lifestyle. You need to get the products, don't you? You need to get the products to have a healthy, lavish lifestyle. You don't have to be rich in money, but being healthy is rich in health. Rich in health is more than the rich man's gold. Relax-uk.com. Health is everything. Keeping your health at bay and your mind occupied. Very, very important, isn't it? Money management is the biggest worry of, stress, anxiety, depression. You got a wife, or your wife has a boyfriend, and they need money to keep that relationship afloat. You want to go out on days out. You want to treat your wife, take her to the nicest parks out. You watch TV, you watch all these celebrities driving about in their Porsches, their Range Rovers. You think one day is my wife going to leave me for an A-class celebrity, or your husband, perhaps, or your boyfriend, or your girlfriend? You have that money, anxiety, depression. How do you manage your money? You have aspirations in life. You want to be somebody, you want to go somewhere, but your hobby, your interest costs money, and that could be the way you make your small fortune if you get really good at it. Maybe you're an artist or bricklayer, or you like buying and selling cars or motorbikes, but you need to finance your money. You need to budget your money to get from A to B, plus pay your bills. It's almost left impossible, isn't it? All I am is an artist. I'm an artist. There's not much funding for artists. I'm not just an artist. I'm a phenomenal speaker. I'm trying to, help out the humanities that join in. Yesterday we had we were talking about anxiety, depression, child abuse, relationship abuse. Everything. We took 2-hour conversation. Talking about almost like a citizen vice bureau yesterday. If you look on our YouTube feed on the Proclamation News and Gatherence, you'll find us. You can go back over what we've been speaking about over previous weeks. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube, Proclamation News and Gatherence, as well as our Castbox. Proclamation Johnson on Facebook. If you do want to follow our day-to-day activities. Obviously, my friend Aid Chapman, he's from Hertfordshire constituency. He comes on with a show and he brings a great talk show. So I sit here talking my own. Sometimes it's nice to have someone with the same interest speaking with the same, a different angle that we tackle different various things. His views on politics is totally obscure to my totally different. But I need Aiden on board because he is a phenomenal speaker. He's got a lot of wise years behind him. I've got more ahead of me to become as wise as him. But it's great. The show, it makes the show. It really does make the show when you've got someone with a lot of wisdom on the show. He's done a lot for society and had a lot taken from him, as he was saying. I've helped him in the past, and he's been a great friend to me in the past, which he's helped me. Just been a friend to talk to. But as we move on, have you voted today? Have you voted today? That's what I know. I was watching a guy live on Facebook this morning talk about the government. He would not trust a word Sir Keir Starmer would suggest or come up with, or the party policy. That he contradicts himself an awful lot. QAs, he always hangs himself. I think a lot of people are going to hang themselves with someone like Boris Johnson. He's been in the business for decades. since as long as I can remember, since Margaret Thatcher was in pole position as Prime Minister. Yeah, this is what we're talking. Some of the things, subjects we were talking about yesterday was depression, stress, anxiety, self-esteem, anger, relationships, grief, eating disorder, mental health, borderline personality disorder, and much more. Royal Navy ship patrolling Jersey amid fishing row with France. 2 Royal Navy ships are patrolling waters around Jersey and 2 French patrol vessels are nearby. As fishermen protest over their post-Brexit rights, about 60 Frenchmen and Jersey boats are blocking the island from St Helifa port. With a freight vessel unable to leave, French fishermen say their rights are unfairly restricted by licenses issued by the island under the new system. Jersey officials are meeting the peaceful protesters to try and resolve the dispute. HMS 7, which has previously been used to shadow Russian Navy warships off the English coast, can be seen from the port. Sitting off about a mile from the French boats, HMS Tamar is nearby, and both ships are maintaining a presence and not making any effort to intervene. The new system is the new system, and Parliament is the biggest judiciary in the UK. So the Brexit, the fishermen' rights is as it stands, and that's why the Royal Navy ships are patrolling waters to make sure they're not coming in to our area of fishing. Number 10 said the 2 Navy vessels monitoring the situation while the maritime prefecture of Machine and Mer du Nord told the BBC the 2 French vessels were on a public service mission to ensure safety. Manchy and Mer du Nord is a French saying. The boats are protesting against new fishing rules introduced last week by the Jersey government under the UK-EU Trade and Cooperation Agreement, TCA, which require French boats to show they have a history of fishing in Jersey waters. But it has been claimed additional requirements were added without notice. French authorities say the new technical measures had not been communicated to the EU, rendering them null and void. It's really important that we're able to work with those fishermen to help them provide the necessary evidence so that, if required, their licenses can be amended. Senator Ian Gerst, Jersey External Relations Minister, told BBC News, "As I've said, it's important that we respond to threats, but the answer to this solution is to continue to talk and diplomacy." And LC source said France was monitoring the situation very closely, adding, "It's currently calm and we hope that this will remain the case. We want to be able to return to negotiations that we can obtain the fishing license provided for an agreement." The maritime prefecture of Manchy and Mer du Nord told the BBC the 2 French vessels, police boat Athos and patroller Themis, were not on military missions. It said the boats' roles were to stay in French waters and to be near to the fishermen in order to ensure safety. A European Commission spokeswoman said talks were continuing with the UK. 2 seconds, guys. I'm still with you. I'm stretching my neck. So we've got some good news coming up. All right. At the scene, red flares burning bright. In the darkness, you could see the lights from boats slowly making their way from the direction of France towards Jersey. They then all gathered outside St. Harbour and they stayed there for about an hour. At about 6:30 BST, they started making their way slowly into the harbour. Flares were set off. Red flares, orange flares, burning bright. French flags were being flown. There were banners talking about fishing. Every nation, every nation has a dominion of from their I've been on this show the whole time. What happened there? I thought I was on the whole time. I've been talking for quite a while. I hope I've been talking all the way through. Otherwise, I'll start again. Oh my goodness. Thank you for coming through. Anyway, by Freddie Miller, the BBC Jersey political reporter, in the darkness, you could see the lights from the boat slowly making their way from the direction of France towards Jersey. They then all gathered outside the St. Helier harbour and they stayed there for about an hour. At about 6:30 BST, they started making their way slowly into the harbour. Flares were set off, red flares, orange flares, burning bright. French flags were being flown. There were banners talking about fishing. Meanwhile, on the pier side where I am, islanders had gathered, probably about 30 in total, including a couple of police officers. Jersey flags had been hung to the railings of the pier. Some were waving flags. There were also some Jersey boats in support of the French, flying both French and Jersey flags, and also a couple that were trying to stop the French from coming into the harbour. Amidst all of this, you've got the two-way vessels in the distance. You can just see out the outlined shadow of them through the mist. Just keep watch of everything. Hope I've got all this recorded. I've been speaking for nearly 20 minutes. I hope I've got all this conversation I've just had. I think I've only just joined the live feed on YouTube and Twitter. MEP Stefan Jon Corton, a member of the EU Fisheries Committee, told BBC Radio's Force Today programme they were taken by surprise by new fishing rules, adding, "We're counting on the good faith from Jersey and UK government to help and de-escalate the tension of the threat of electricity to Jersey," she said. "There is only words, we are not ready for war," but she added, "all the retaliatory measures will be explored." On Wednesday night, Prime Minister Boris Johnson pledged his unwavering support for Jersey, the largest Channel island and the Crown dependency, located 14 miles, 22 kilometres off France, and any blockade would be completely unjustified. I mean, Parliament is the absolute sovereignty of the whole land. Let me just answer a chat conversation and I'll get back to it. Hello there. Yes, I do read chat there, Brevan. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you coming through. Welcome to give us some constructive criticism. You know, try and help build the show. If you've got anything you'd like to ask or suggest. I mean, how many miles offshore are trawlers allowed? Are fishermen allowed off our shore in the UK? That's that's why we're protecting our waters. What waters are our waters? Are our waters. And 13 miles offshore is our fishermen's rights. Nactals, 13 mile with nactals or something, we're allowed to fish offshore, which is Parliament regulate rules and regulations. 13 miles offshore is our waters, all the way around our whole dominion of the UK. So there's your answer for the UK fishermen. Is there enough fish to provide for the UK? They're saying they're getting short on cod in some fishermen. It's been a bit angered for some of the fishermen. Absolutely. I can read your text. If you get Brevan, I appreciate any any constructive criticism, always welcome. At the scene, more shock than anger. Their boats were draped with makeshift banners, which read, "And in colère where we are angry," writes the BBC Europe correspondent Jean Mackenzie, who was with the fishermen as they set off from the French coast. A handful left this small port for Normandy coast at about 2:30, to be joined by dozens more on the way to Jersey. The fishermen seem more shocked than angry that their access to waters they have fished in for decades is being challenged. If you fish off your guided fisherman right, which is 30 miles offshore, it's then classed as piracy. You're going into piracy, you're going into stealing someone else's fisherman's rights. You're breaking the rules and regulations. It's called piracy. Stealing our resources, or we'll be stealing someone else's if we go off our mark. Under the post-Brexit trade deal, Jersey has to allow European vessels into its waters, but they now need licenses. But the fishermen say the permits have come with a long list of restrictions that were never agreed. Reacting to the French maritime minister's threat to cut off Jersey's electricity in retaliation, the fishermen were pleased. It's good to know our country is on our side, they said. A statement from Jersey government read, diplomatic efforts will continue to resolve the outstanding issues relating to fishing licenses and how to de-escalate the situation. Has everyone voted this morning? Has everyone voted yet, or going to vote, or you haven't yet made up your mind who they're going to vote? Dmitry Rogov, head of the fisheries from Normandy region, said the boat would not try to block St Helier and would return to France in the afternoon, the AFP reported. Labour's Shadow Defence Secretary John Healey said the threats were completely unreasonable and urged the UK government to get round the table French colleagues and authorities in Jersey and sort this issue out. I've made my vote today. It's been an absolute traditional vote, a bona fide conservatism vote, absolutely. All 3 votes was put all in the Conservative box. What is a Jersey fishing row about? French fishermen have complained about being prevented from operating British waters because of difficulties in obtaining licences. Under agreement with the EU, French boat operators must show a history of fishing in the area to receive a licence of Jersey waters, but it has been claimed additional requirements were added without notice. Jersey has the sole power to issue the licences, and as of last week, all fishing boats were required to have a licence to operate there. On Friday, the Jersey government granted 41 permits to French fishing vessels that are equipped with technology that allows them to be located. But the French government claimed the list of approved ships come with further demands that were not arranged or discussed, and which were not notified about. Chris Lee Monsieur, who runs Jersey Oyster and Normandy Trader Freight, said the French fishermen were rightly upset by the situation. He said, I see it as a very much an insult to them and they are extremely upset. The criteria that we was given was to prove they have fished in Jersey waters for 10 days. Nothing about what species were caught, nothing about if you fished for 20 days or 30 days and having to prove that. But Don Thompson from the Jersey Fishermen's Association said effective French crews had since 1st of January to comply with the new rules, and perhaps some of the boats that perhaps didn't qualify are a little bit put out. The threat to cut off Jersey electricity supply, 95% of which is delivered by 3 underwater cables from France, was made by French Maritime Minister Annick Girardin on Tuesday. HMS Severn and HMS Tamar are based in Portsmouth. They are both 90.5 million in length, 90.5 metres in length, have 2 large guns, including a short-range anti-aircraft weapon, and are crewed by a 45 sailor and up to 50 Royal Marines. The ships are routinely used for fisheries protection, with sailors able to board other boats for spot checks. When you listen, do you visualise what I'm saying? You can imagine a 90.5 metre in length HMS Severn, HMS Tamar, which are based in Portsmouth, which I will be seeing this weekend. I'll be seeing this boat this weekend. Why will I be seeing this boat at the weekend? Because I will be going to Portsmouth. There you go. Ladies and gents, I was just talking about what we went through yesterday. The show's just growing in leaps and bounds of information. It's not just about politics, not just about criminal law. It's about helping the democracy. You come on my show, we're talking about debt worries, we're talking about depression, stress, anxiety, self-esteem, anger, relationships, grief, eating disorder, mental health, borderline personality disorder, and more. We're talking about a lot more. Child abuse, relationship abuse, because it doesn't just come from one side, does it? Being provoked. We're trying to look at things from different angles, because at the turn of being the victim or being the person that supposedly committed in the eyes of the law, you committed the accusation, you was provoked. So there's always two people guilty in any circumstance. There's always two people guilty. But when it comes to children are children. Adults shouldn't be abusing children or neglecting their children. Shouldn't be neglecting their children. So there's no argument there. But when it comes to relationship, obviously being a male, you're the masculinity out of the two. So the woman is always going to come across the feeble lady. She's the feeble lady. Weak and feeble. And that is facts. You've got femininity and masculinity. Got the sweet, looking, elegant female in anyone's eyes. In 60% of United Kingdom's eyes. The other 40% see what you see. But, you can't beat that around the bush in a legislation scenario. So you just have to go with it. Anyway, I'll thank you all for coming through. Anyway, Proclamation, News and Gatherence. We're trying to build realism amongst humanities. Make you all realise everyone suffers. Everyone's suffering depression. Everyone goes through relationship makeups, breakups. Everyone has debt troubles. Not everyone becomes an alienated parent, but it's not the end of the world if you are. I know there's more suicides in men and women, but we're not here to say who's the better out of sexuality. It's just talking figures. Women that need support, we're here. That's what we're talking about. And men that need support, we are here too. We're all here for one another, trying to build back better, I suppose. Yeah, as they say, build back better. I don't like that phrase. It's getting a bit like polarized. I don't like polarized information. I like to make my own slogans, as you know. Anti-dish establishment and terrorism will form upon the horizon if you don't stop this scrutiny to our unity. That is my own slogan, and very, very well slogan I made. It took time, integrity, perseverance, and optimism. Anyway, moving on, ladies and gents, before I get above my station. Oh, thank you for listening, whoever that is still. Mayra Zofika shooting. Police have been warned before killing. Anyone know about this? Anyone heard about this? A London woman killed in Pakistan has warned police in Lahore her life was in danger less than 2 weeks before her murder. The BBC has learned. Criminology. Mayra Zofika, 24, was found in a pool of blood in a flat on Monday. 13 days earlier, she had asked police for protection after accusing a man of abducting her at gunpoint. The law graduate had been threatened by 2 men who both wanted to marry her, according to legal documents seen by BBC. Pakistani police are conducting a murder inquiry, and so far no normal arrests have been made. Forensic investigations are continuing, and it is understood a number of interrogations have been conducted. This is a shame, very, very big shame. She went to Middlesex University. She was living in London. She went to school in Twickenham. I will call you. In a police report filed on the 20th of April, Miss Suffolker named and accused a man of abducting her at gunpoint and attempting to sexually assault her a few days earlier. She said she managed to run away by alerting bystanders, but the man threatened her, saying, "You won't be able to escape. I will kill you." Residents in the Upper Market Street, where Miss Suffolker was renting the upper portion of her house, said police had previously visited the area looking for CCTV of a car involved in the alleged abduction. A neighbour talking on condition of anonymity told the BBC loud arguments could often be heard from the property, and that on one occasion men brandishing knives has been seen threatening Miss Suffolker from the street. Police would not respond to requests for comment on the report. You can see why men were, fighting over her, but to take a gun to that extent, to take her life away. They both like her, so they should, they take her life. She's pretty girl. I don't know. I'm not worried about her because it's not for me. It's, you can see why the guys made this stupid attack. On Monday morning, a maid working in the house called emergency service after discovering Miss Suffolker's body. She'd been shot twice, and police believe she may have also been strangled. Residents described hearing shouts in the early hours of the morning. Miss Suffolker has arrived in Pakistan with her parents about 2 months ago to attend a family wedding. She's done all that at university, just graduated, qualified in to become probably the next lawyer or judge. Who knows what her future may hold, but something significant. She's sat there and become an honourable lady. She's done all the months, all the days, all the mornings and nights, sleepless days and nights to get her qualification, and then that happens. What tragic. But when they returned to the UK, she decided to stay on in the country. Mourners paid their respects to Miss Suffolker's at the funeral service in Lahore. Miss Suffolker's funeral was held in Lahore on Tuesday, attended by her father and who had travelled back to the city. Prayers for the law graduate were also offered near the family home in West London. Miss Suffolker was Belgian national living in London, according to the UK Foreign Office, which has referred her family to Belgian consular services. You're probably wondering why I'm talking about something that, she's buried in Pakistan, but she was a UK citizen. So, kind of give her the benefit down, give her our condolences, because, she's an English graduate student. She deserved, whatever country you live in, if you get your life taken, you deserve to be spoken about and praise be sung. Relax-UK.com. Relax UK Limited health and travel wellness products since 1997. UK relaxation shops selling various range of products for relaxation, travel, well-being, biofeedback, sleeping and natural products. What I was talking about earlier. A healthy lifestyle is a wealthy lifestyle. Absolutely. We're also sponsored by PSS Alarms. Very ethical and pragmatic work carried out. All areas are covered, including central station monitoring. And all work's done according to insurance requirements. This is a friend of mine's company. He's carried out works in Harry Kane's stepmother's house in Hertfordshire, Potter's Bar. He's carried out etiquette works in Essex, such as Casbah Restaurant, and many, many more big businesses. Installation and maintenance of intruder alarms, fire alarms, CCTV. All works are guaranteed and certified to SSAIB standards. 24-hour call-out service can provide CCTV for pubs, clubs, restaurants, new business, or secure your home and your business. Mention Professor Johnson for an extra discount. Secure your home, secure your business. Your safety and priorities within your business are paramount. So think safety, think first. Secure your equity. Secure your legacy for your children. 07908 07908 216 142 216 142 07908 216 142. Please ask for Tariq Khan. Thank you all for my loyal listeners. Hope you do share. We want more people to subscribe on our YouTube channel as well, ladies and gents. So if you're listening on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, and we need to build this platform. Elections 2021. What can I do in a polling station? Anyone been to a polling station before? You never got involved, but you're itching to get involved. You want to shape up your niece's future, your nephews, your cousins, your son, your daughter. Talking about legacy. You want to leave something that could help your children's future. What are our conservatives doing? I'm conservative. I'm going to talk about conservative. I'm sorry if you're not conservative, but voting's important, whatever policy you go with. You got to look what they offer. Lower fuel emissions. We talk about the ozone layer, aren't we? Exploding one day. If we didn't have no government, would there be taxes on pollution? Would everyone just drive about in any car they want? Would everyone just spill their diesel at the petrol station without cleaning it up? There'd be no rules and regulations there. No people wouldn't be getting fined for doing fly tipping. Industrialisation, pollution. It's a lot of things that we need in place. We've got more policing, why Conservative involved. We've got better infrastructure, hospitals, which I've worked at. When I was working in the building site, Conservative were in power then. I was building up the infrastructure, hospitals, park and ride. I helped build Colchester Hospital, helped build Chelmsford Hospital, helped build the park and ride in Colchester. That's all part of the infrastructure. I installed about 30 lampposts at the park and ride in Colchester. So when you go to park and ride in Colchester, or when you think you want to give some constructive criticism against me, I haven't realised what I've done. When you want to do things physically, people think, is he mentally stable enough to take the seat and talk to the audience? Absolutely. So I've got the observance. I've got perseverance. I've got time and forbearance. I've got passion. I've got integrity. Anyway, an election extravaganza takes place on Thursday across England, Scotland and Wales. Millions of voters will elect thousands of people to power, including councillors, police commissioners, mayors and one MP. What are the do's and don'ts of going to vote? How do I find my polling station? Google it for one. If you got a vote, you should receive a polling card in the post. This has your polling number and the address of where you cast your vote, your polling station. To vote, you have to turn up at the polling station between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. BST on 6th of May. You don't have to bring your polling card when you vote, but it can speed the process up. If your card hasn't turned up and you don't know where your polling station is, contact your local authority's election office. Will polling stations be COVID safe? Expect to see extra signs, plastic screens, one-way system, and of course, hand sanitizer. Everyone asked to wear a face cover inside the polling station. However, the Electoral Commission says no one will be turned away if they refuse to wear one. Should I bring my own pen or pencil? Voters are asked to bring their own pen or pencil to keep the process as hygienic as possible. But some pencils should be available in the polling station for those who forget. What if I cannot turn up on a day? The deadline has now passed to apply for postal vote or proxy vote, where someone else goes to the polling station on your behalf. However, you can still apply for emergency proxy vote if one of the following has happened since the deadline: medical emergency, you're away from work, you're self-isolating because of COVID. You can make the application at any time up to 5 p.m. on the polling day itself by contacting your local council. Can I take a selfie? Electoral Commission, which oversees UK elections, advises against this risk because accidentally giving away how someone else, the person in the booth next to you, for example, voted, which is illegal. But people are welcome to share photos taken outside a polling station to encourage your friends and family to vote. Can I tell my social media followers how I voted? Yes, by photographing the ballot paper is not allowed, and punishment for revealing how anyone else voted, even accidentally, is a fine up to £5,000 or 6 months in prison. So voters are advised to not update their social media accounts inside the polling station. Just as well I left my phone at home, isn't it? So who's been elected? English local councils, 143 councils, approximately 5,000 seats. Police and crime commissioners, 39 PCCs. Scottish Parliament, 129 MSPs. London Assembly, 25 seats. Welsh Synod, 60 MSs. Directly elected mayors. Hartlepool, by-election, 1 MP. Thank you all for coming through. I really appreciate today's cast. Listeners, you loyal listeners. I'm gonna try and bring a few more people that want to participate. My friend A is a great guy. We've been great friends over the few years. I met him a year and a half ago. UK arrivals can avoid government hotel quarantine bills by stopping off in Turkey. Some returning from red list nations are interrupting their journey to stay in Istanbul and pay a fraction of the cost of a hotel accommodation. Travellers arriving in UK from red list countries bypassing the government designated hotel quarantine by stopping off in Turkey. Passengers from nations on the red list face bills up to £1,750 per person to isolate in a hotel if they fly to the UK directly. Many have been attending weddings or funerals and say they couldn't afford the cost of quarantining. Turkey imposed a 3-week lockdown last week because of the rise in coronavirus infections, but it has not been added to the UK's red list. Travel agents have now been booking clients into rooms in Turkey to help them cut costs of quarantine. Hotel charges are around £600 compared to £1,700 in the UK quarantine accommodation. One traveller reported he paid as little as £100 for an 11-night stay for a room with a bed, TV and a fridge. Anyone entering Turkey must have a negative COVID test within 72 hours. They also must have a negative PCR test to leave the country. BBC reported it had spoken to staff at hotels in Istanbul. One British traveller was using the country as a bridge. His hotel booked the British passport holders travelling from Pakistan, Bangladesh and India, all on the red list, he said. Turkey has since tightened its rules on people arriving in India, who must now quarantine in designated dormitories. The UK Department of Transport said people who had not been in the red list country for the past 10 days were not prevented from entering the UK, but should isolate at home. It said rules were aimed at stopping people other than British residents entering the UK from the red list countries. Guidance states, if you have been in or through any of the countries listed below in the previous 10 days, you'll be refused by their UK entry. If you are British or Irish national, or you have residence rights in the UK, you'll be able to enter. You must quarantine in a government approval hotel for 10 days. If you do not travel in or through our country on the list of in the 10 days before you arrive in England, you'll need to quarantine in the place you are staying. I'm not sure what that sound is on my phone coming out there, so I apologise. Dog needs 3-hour operation after eating 30 PPE gloves. It wouldn't take much of the situation to have turned critical. I mean, the noise not offending me, but it might be, offending listeners trying to hear me over the noise. And why they had to undergo 3 hours of surgery after vets discovered they had eaten 30 PPE gloves. Imagine it. The dog wanted to chew up 30 PPE gloves. The dogs chew anything, don't they? Rambo was rushed to the veterinary hospital when he was sick and brought up one of the rubber gloves that Darren Cohn from Wakefield uses in his job for Intercontinental Hotel Group. 7-year-old Rambo was first taken to Wakefield Westgate Vets for Pets for a checkup and then Leeds Bristol Vets for Pets 24/7 Hospital for an endoscopy. Keith Leonard, veterinary surgeon and owner of Leeds Bristol Vets for Pets 24/7 Hospital, said, "When Rambo was referred to us by our colleagues at Vet for Pets Wakefield Westgate, we didn't think we'd find him much, particularly as he literally bounced into hospital seemingly without a care in the world." Dan had been provided with a number of boxes of PPE gloves to help him with his role on a holiday in Leeds to ensure he was adhering to lockdown rules. Rambo would be taken in the car for local exercise walks and would travel in the rear of the car, near where the gloves were stored. I've been taking Rambo in the car with me for many journeys and never paid much attention to anything in the car, admitted Darren. I had a number of boxes of gloves and just assumed I'd use all of one box, which is why Rambo got away with eating and hiding them. Oh, my back. When he was sick with the one glove, I instantly recognised it and searched the car for any evidence of him eating anything else. That was when I found the box hidden underneath his bed and the missing gloves. I rushed him to the vet practice, Vets for Pets, Wakefield, Westgate, and from there I was in their professional hands and they helped Rambo. When he went to Leeds, Bristol Vets for Pets 24/7 Hospital from their endoscopy, I thought they might find one or two other gloves, but was absolutely gobsmacked when Keith and his team eventually pulled the 29 gloves out. Anyone got a pet that just chews anything, eats anything? I can't thank enough for how they helped Rambo, particularly as he seemed to be normal self and obvious to the dangerous situation he was in. Rambo was able to go home less than 12 hours after arriving for his endoscopy and now is fully recovered from his situation. Keith added, dogs and exquisitely animals and the huge increase in the use of PPE gloves thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic mean they are more likely to come across the new and potentially fragrant items. While Rambo was lucky, other pets might not be, so we encourage all owners to make sure to keep items that dogs or other pets shouldn't have way out of reach. But if something does happen, then the following steps Darren took will really help their pet's predicament. Rambo is now separated in the car from anything he could possibly eat, and the gloves stay firmly locked away. He's a lucky dog. The gloves are now stored away out of his reach, and I've told him hands off our equipment, added Darren. Your dog chewing up PPE gloves. needs feeding. He needs feeding, so he's eating the gloves. Liam Taylor, murderer, faces of the thugs who stabbed loving teen to death outside real pub. What causes the men's rehabilitation to pick up a knife and kill? It's a coward's way. It's a coward's way out, isn't it? You're going to walk up to someone with a knife, avidly stick a knife in someone's chest or neck or arm, wherever you're going to stick it. Possibly watch their eyes roll back in the back of their head. It's disgusting, shocking. The psychomotor state this person must have to do this is ironically disturbing. Are they off their face on narcotics? Daniel Dalen, 22, and Ryan Philby, 21, were found guilty of the murder on Wednesday, May the 5th. The faces of two men who knifed a loving, caring teenager to death outside a pub in Essex have been revealed. Liam Taylor was murdered outside the Rose and Crown in Whittle on January the 31st last year. The 19-year-old was pronounced dead at the scene after suffering a stab wound to the chest. My niece and nephew and my kids are going to start going out. And these animals really in the street. We really need to educate the youth of today. What a coward way out it really is to pick up a knife and kill. I'm so against knife crime, it's unreal. So against knife crime. The Essex police, what they have to put up with is disturbing. You don't realise that, the hard work they do day in, day out, really, do we? None of us take our hat off for the things they do. Especially, there's a lot of policemen that get involved, voluntary. They still deal with stuff like this. The volunteers putting their life at risk as well. They're putting their life at risk and they're having to put up with major corruption, disturbance of young juveniles acting inappropriately. Shocking, short, absorbing information. His death has left the community bereaved and his family haunted. 3 men stood trial over Liam's murder, and today, Wednesday, May the 5th, 2 were found guilty at Chelmsford Crown Court. Ryan Philby, 21, of Ayling Place in Chelmsford, and Daniel Dalen, 19, of Bramble Road in Witton, have both been found guilty of murder or wounding with intent. I mean, I get frustrated with the police sometimes. I need to be more patient. I know how hard they work, but when I go for police with my own provocation and they tell me you're being another company, I can't work it out. So I flip the lid. I don't think straight. So please ignore my animosity when you see something I'll put disturbing. But I think they're absolutely phenomenal. So as soon as I write something or put something or you hear me say something, I quickly delete it because I do realise how hard they work, and I'm very, very thankful that we have them in our community supporting our safety, which is paramount. The third defendant, 19-year-old Connor Smith from Chelmsford, was found not guilty of murder. Philby and Dalen's victim had gone for a quick drink with friends, the Rose and Crown, on the night of his death. When a black Subaru pulled up outside the venue, a group of men attacked Liam and his friend, with the former managing to make it inside the bar. While the friend was rushed to hospital for surgery, Liam died at the scene as a result of multiple stab wounds. During the trial, the court heard the attack was a retaliation to an incident less than 2 hours prior, in which Philby had been beaten by 2 people with a pole outside his home. So he's been beaten already, so he's going to go back and stab it. Although the defendants and their victims were known to each other, neither Liam nor a friend were involved in the assault on Philby. He was a loving, kind of caring boy. Speaking after the verdicts were announced, Liam's nan, Julie Taylor, said, "The most heartbreaking thing for me is Liam and his mum, Michelle, were so close. He always told her, as long as we have each other, we'll always be okay. How can she now ever be okay again? A huge part of her was taken when they took her life. Her world collapsed and part of her died that night." You can absolutely see where they're coming from, can't you? Such an horrific incident. Beat him up with a pole and they've gone back for seconds with blade. How can she even, Fish, as we called him, wasn't just a son. He was his mother's soulmate and his best friend, a protective big brother to Lewis and his little sister Lily. He was a loving, kind of caring boy, always smiling, charismatic. Liam loved to listen to Stormzy music as well as out or socialising with his friends. Julie added, "He really was a life and soul everywhere he went. Everyone loved his infectious smile and everyone loved Fish." During the trial, we have endured details from witnesses, video footage, forensic and pathology details of his traumatic death, details and images of the last moments of his life, or of our beloved Fish. It's worse than a horror film, and no mother, grandmother, brother, sister, or family member should ever have to deal with this. This year, Fish would have been 21, and we'd always planned to for the whole family to make a trip to Tunisia to celebrate his 21st birthday. We are haunted by the trauma and violence, fish death, and haunted by the birthdays and Christmases we will never share. You think you don't when people go into battle if they're on the influence of a pub and they don't like someone and they feel the need to protect themselves with a blade. Look at the after precautions that you're causing, not the person's life you're taking away, but the rest of the family, or they're even the person you just taken their life. Maybe they've got kids. The effect, the knock-on effect that you're doing. The youth club they went to, or the football club they was in, or the school they went to. You're taking away everything from that one person. You're taking away their national insurance number. You're just throwing it away, evaporating it into nothing. Well, your national insurance number is now your number of years in prison. What a stupid way out. Really is a stupid way out. In life, we know we lose loved ones from all age or illnesses, but it's a normal cause of life for a parent, grandparent or sibling to see a child and young person die at the hand of such violence. There are no circumstances where any individual needs to walk the streets with weapons, and there will never be a justification. It will always end in tragedy. We all loved him in life and in death. We all love him still. He will never be forgotten. We love you, with our beautiful angel. What a distraught mess. People go metropolitan lunatic asylum so they don't offend or don't re-offend. It's just there's no air to breathe for these people that can't feel the need to take someone's life. As soon as you pick up a knife, if you stab someone in the arm, you're full process. You've got tendons all over their body, mate. Are you stupid? Maths wasn't a strong subject at school, nor was human biology. You need to get back in school, kids. Educate yourself. I know many people that have used knives over the years. You should be ashamed of yourself. Absolutely ashamed of yourself. And I hope you don't re-offend. And I hope the person that you did stab has survived. Mystery over shots fired at Canvey Island address which left person shaken. Essex Police needs anyone with information to come forward. My advice to anyone, if you hang about someone that's used a knife in your life, you need to rearrange your circle of friends. Because if you're in an incident where it happens again and you're there, you're doing time. You're doing time. Your necessity to your so-called friends' stupidity. It's not. Don't think you're big hanging about someone that's stabbed someone, done years in prison for it. You come as a bit of protection. It's not. Really isn't. Just don't go out anymore. Don't drink. If you feel feel like you need someone to look after you while you go out, stop going out. Stop drinking. Stop your stupid, irrational behaviour, because you could do time in prison away from your loved ones. Praying about your stupid mate that feels the need to stab someone. Police are investigating after shots were reported fired at an address in Essex in this afternoon. Officers have confirmed they are looking into an alleged incident and address in Chiltern Approach, Canvey Island, thought to have taken place at around 2:02. Thankfully, no one injured, but the person inside the property was left shaken, police say. Officers added they believe the incident was targeted, however. It is possible a case mistakenly identity. Essex Police is now appealing for information for anyone who may know more about what happened. A spokesperson for the force said, "We need to speak to anyone who saw what happened or has CCTV, dash or cam footage, or doorbell footage to contact us. If you have any information, you can submit a report online to www.essex.police.uk or use live chat. Please quote Incident 53 on the 5th of May. You can also call us on 101 or contact Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111. Thank you all ever so much for listening. And I mean it. I mean what I say, you know. If you're in that circle where you feel you're protected because you're hanging around a load of idiots, you're hanging around a load of idiots. You know someone's using a knife once in life, they're quite likely to be a friend later on in life. They can't control their psychomotor state. You need to get out of that circle. I'm telling you. I've got no circle. This is me. This is my circle. But I go and see my parents, brother, sister. I don't have a circle. I'm not doing time for no one. I'm not being a necessity of anyone's stupidity. And that's what you'll be if you hang about in a stupid circle, just to feel like some people do it to get a name for themselves or to feel protected when they're out. Why? I'll tell you what happened to me in 2018. I was in that, you know, we was young and stupid. We was all going out in you know, friends, you know, in school you got friends. I'm still like friends. I speak to my friends, you know, on the phone and stuff. But I won't go out in these circles and cause a mate. I've done my time. We've all grown up and done our time, gone and had families and whatnot. But being in a social circle, the trauma that it can cause can last with you for the remainder of your life. We've all gone for, you know, a lot of us gone for a bit bad trauma throughout our life, you know. But being in them circles, don't become a necessity of someone's stupidity. I was talking about cyberbullying and stuff like that. But being a necessity of someone else's stupidity is the worst thing. It is the worst. It really is the worst thing. Think about if someone's going to use a knife or a bat, hit someone with it. It takes them to fall over and die, hit someone in the artery, or someone hits their head on the floor and die. You're a necessity. You could be getting 10 years or 8 years in prison for being a necessity for your friend's stupidity. Pick your friends wisely. What I say is drink your cup of tea with like-minded people. As soon as you pick up the whiskey or the wine or the vodka in circles that are doing the exact same thing as you, you know it's a depressant alcohol. So one that overindulges in a depressant drink are going to act chaotic. Men's rehabilitations. Hello, Green Setters. I'll just come out to the end of the show, buddy. Nice to see you, though. I've done an hour and 2 minutes. It's been a great show. But it'll be on YouTube to replay, and it'll be on my social media from my Facebook or Twitter account. Just want to say thank you all for coming through. Hopefully, I don't know if I'll be back tonight. Maybe I'll be back tomorrow. We're just talking about the fishermen rights. There's a Navy boat over in Jersey at the moment. I think the French are trying to overstay their fishing, overfish the waters. So we're over in Portsmouth, over by Portsmouth. I'll see that boat hopefully. It's 90 metres long, wasn't it? 90.5 metres long. I'll see that boat tomorrow, possibly tomorrow. But anyway, everyone. Yeah, thank you, buddy. Have a good one, mate. And I'll hopefully catch you tomorrow. When I get settled in and set up, hopefully I'll catch you tomorrow. Everyone, take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. If I don't see you tomorrow, I should get it set up by tomorrow night, so I might be able to do a quick hour tomorrow evening. Anyway, thank you all. Take care. God bless. One love. Speak soon.